Hi, for this week, we are talking about one of the characters from our book and kind of just giving a case description. So John Petit is a father and a son to um, Maud Petit and Sid Petit. And he had a younger sister that died when she was 4 years old in the flu epidemic of 1934, and uh, his dad also died, and they were buried in their reservation. John is a Navy veteran with his cousin Harlan, who have very close relationships with each other. He married Katerina, who is a Portuguese woman. She is not Indian. Um, they they have two daughters, Teresa and Regina. Regina is the main character of our book. They all live on the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation in Salem, Oregon, and they're Umpqua Indian. I don't know how to say the tribal name. And in 1954, their reservation was taken over by the government, and they were not wealthy enough to buy back their property. So they took advantage of the government relocating them to Los Angeles. John is offered a opportunity to work in electronics. He graduates head of his class, or top of his class, with 2 diplomas, and is able to get a well-paying job. In my paper, I do a description of the major events that have happened in John's life, both pre and post move. And you can definitely see that there is a development of John wanting to be fully American. You could see that he kind of struggles with internal oppression due to the fact that he has been treated differently his whole life. However, himself has not come to terms with it, because even though that they are Indian and they are born on Indian reservation property, that does not mean that they weren't born in America. He is an American citizen. He is also an Indian reservation citizen, or was pre the government buying them out. So he has struggled for a very long time, knowing that he is also a Navy veteran who has served his country, has been born in his country, and also is an American citizen. He has been treated his whole life that he is not that, because when he was I'm assuming that when he was in the Navy, he probably encountered some oppressive and microaggressive behavior. And in the book, it gives us mentions that he kind of pulls away from some people due to the fact that they were being treated differently because of their race or their ethnicity. Until they encountered a woman at a restaurant who was blatantly racist and called them Mexican, which was falsely identifying their culture and race. And also said that they are probably poor, which at this point John has received a very generous he received a supervising position. So he was making a lot more income, and they were able to afford a lot more wealthier items than they were in the past. So overall, we could see that John is a young and handsome individual. It is mentioned multiple times that he feels very confident in his looks. And then we also see that he is maybe of a darker skin tone due to his mislabeling of being Mexican. It also mentions that his kids have run-ins with just being identified as Indian because of their darker complexion and their hair. And there was an instance where John came home after the restaurant and cut his daughter's hair, which made her feel that she lost her Indianness. And it seems as if John really wants his family to conform to the American way and live like a white man does. However, at this point, it is a little hard to push those views onto his children because they are Indian, and no matter how much they fight it, they will always be viewed differently just because of their race and their cultural background. It's not similar to a white man or a white American family. So it is critical for us to look at these different areas of John's life and understand kind of what has come from his past and what his goals are in the future so that we can correctly diagnose and also work with John in order to find confidence and peace with his culture and his race while living in America. So that is the goal for the next paper, which is something that I am very excited to dive into.